the head teacher, members of the board present, PTA representatives, the staff members, both teaching and non-teaching staff, student leaders, our dear parents, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Turn to your neighbor and say, how are you feeling? Akulinaanye mubuuze akasana okawulira. So, I am really, really honored to stand before you. My name is Patricia Agaruchire Mulumba. I am a teacher, a counselor, author, life coach, a mother, a wife, to mention but a few. I lead the team at a company called Perfect Evolvers Limited, which is a counseling and life coaching services hub, and we work mostly with family, the parents and the children. We want to see to it that we have families that thrive, families that are actually meant to make this world a better place. I want to thank you, dear parents, for blessing us with your children. I want to thank you for the sacrifices that you make to make sure that you give the best of the best to your children. And dear children, I want to thank you for accepting to be parented by your parents and for making sure that this is the environment, the place where you're writing your life story. So as I begin, allow me give us a food for thought. And I'll start by asking something very simple and say, did you know that 40 years ago, did you know that 40 years ago, many people wanted to have children, but today, many people do not want to have children? Did you know, my dear friends, that 40 years ago, students respected teachers, students respected parents? Today, teachers, we are being forced to respect the children, lest they throw chalk and papers at us. And parents are now forced to respect the children for fear of what is happening. Did you know that 40 years ago, parents respected the teachers who teach their children? But today, they can abuse the teacher that they have entrusted their child with. They can even threaten to have that teacher expelled or sent away. They are not even afraid to badmouth or backbite a teacher in the presence of their child. I am happy that the parents I'm talking about are not parents of this school. And I am happy that the children I'm talking about are not children of this school. 40 years ago, how would you answer back at your parent? How would you touch something that doesn't belong to you? How would you even dare to break the school rules and regulations? Today, it is so heartbreaking. That it is very easy. And as I talk, I don't want you to point fingers. All I need you to do is reflect. Think about yourself. I listened to the head teacher's communication, and my heart almost burst with pain when I heard that the CCTV cameras that have been put in place to make us safe, one of us had the audacity to break these cameras or dismantle them and whatever. And this child has a parent or parents that kneel down and wake up every day to look for money, to provide, and in their heart of hearts, this child is their investment. So I want to ask us, all of us as teachers, as the director, and as you, my dear students, who is to blame? One of the things I want you, my dear students, to know is there is nothing that you're going through or experiencing that your parents have not gone through or experienced. You're lucky today you're not even getting chibokos. You're very lucky. If you're getting any, you're just getting a type of love called the teacher correction or parental correction. You're not getting the kind of beatings that we got in our days, the corporal punishments. My dear, as parents and as you students and as the teachers, we need to go back to the drawing board to understand why are we here. You children, understand why you're here, and we shall not have any of these reminders. Senior 2 and Senior 3, you're so old that nobody should remind you of what to do. Do the right thing at the right time, in the right place, for the right reasons, with the right people. That is something that goes with you everywhere you go. So it is disheartening to hear that we are even still being reminded of the school rules and regulations. Why are you here? You're here for a purpose. My dear children, you're here to pick something and go and write the kind of life you have. But the catch is, there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that everything you're having right now, you're going to continue having so that you write your story. True or false? How many of you have received a phone call from God and you're being told that you better, study hard because anytime from now your papa or your mama is leaving? How many of you? How many of you are sure that you will even still be here next term or next year or next, or even just in the next hour? How many of you? When I stand and speak to parents and speak to students of schools, one of the things that I can't fail to mention is a true life experience. We woke up one morning preparing to go to church. My mother received the news, and together with my father and the rest of the guests that were in the house that Sunday morning, we are so excited, and my poor mother was dancing. She was jubilating. Mama yasanyuka nnyo olwo olunaku n'agamba omwana wange agenda mu ssomero lye nnali njagala agendemu. As in P7 VAC, she was excited that I was going to enter the secondary school that she always dreamt of. Because my loving dear mama, may her soul rest in peace, had not had the opportunity to enter secondary school. But as she was dancing, none of us, including my father, Reverend Charles Kahonda, knew that this person has less than 5 minutes to leave. Bwe yasituka okuzina nga asanyuse, pressure n'erinnya n'emukuba n'afiirawo. As she was dancing and jubilating that I was going to start senior 1 in a school that she wanted, God turned off her light. Just like that. And here I was, starting senior 1, and not even going to that school, because by the time we were done with the whole burial and everything, ekifo baali bakitunze. And they told me, we are sorry, Patricia. Oh, sorry about your mother. Okay, you'll come next year. But we had sold you to this school. Perhaps go there. When we went to that school, they had also sold my place. So there I was, carrying a 1-year-old baby. And the rest of my followers and this woman had left. Unfortunately, last week, my own big sister also suffered the same. Pressure took her life. And today, my dear children, I need you to know that some of your parents seated here, because of the demands of this world, because of the requirements of putting you in the best schools, of providing for you, of making sure they give you everything you want, the best that you can have. Guess what? Abamu balwala da pressure. Tebalia. Because you need pocket money. Every phone call you give, and I had, I think the teacher Moses saying that, we should give you that money. Where do you think that this money comes from? The parents work so hard for that money. Then you're there allowing adolescence or the teenage excitement deter you from your direction. Abazadde abamu balina pressure, abalala balina zi ulcer, abamu tebabagamba na bagamba. Some of your parents here are not telling you. But they have... So you're here wasting away instead of grabbing every single opportunity. Instead of fighting so hard in a school like this. I need you to understand, my dear friends, and remember, I speak from experience. That is why God has given me this platform, not only in Uganda, but all over this world, reminding you. By the time I was in senior 2, my dear friends, I want to tell you, I was working and studying and taking care of the home. My father, may God bless him, Reverend Charles Kahonda, chose not to marry again. So for me, he has been my firstborn, my baby, my papa, my best friend. Because together we would plan. Some of your parents are working in spaces where they don't pay them every month. They have to wait. Some of you are seated here, and honestly, the bursar's office has half the payment of the school fees. And then you're here, falling in love with some boy in the class because you're looking for father figure. These are not my words. You're looking for father figure, then you're fighting your fellow friend. You don't know what the parents are going through. You want to fight this girl because apparently this father figure of yours is behaving in a funny way. As if he came to this school to be a father figure. What kind of crap is that? The reason you're here, my friends, is to create what we call social capital. Your parents have put you in one of the best schools, a Christian-founded school. It's not a joke. So they are giving you social capital. Because the people you're with in school are the ones you're going to relate with when you're out of school, since your social network is your net worth. My dear parents, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I know that today, this generation Z is being taken away from us by the devil that came to kill, steal, and destroy. This generation Z that doesn't have a sense of direction, a sense of purpose, they only have a sense of entitlement. They think they must have. That sense of entitlement, is going to put you down. Just a few months ago, you will not believe it. I don't know if you heard, you students, but your parents know. A young man, a parent, yali kubitala, traffic lights. He was following all the traffic laws. He stopped. Echimotoka echimixinga concrete nechimugwira. Nayenga he had left home. I have met those children, very young children. They are not even 10. They are not even your age. God has loved you that you have somebody seated here. God has loved you. You are the owner of this life of yours. Your parents love you. My father and mother gave me a success card, the PLE success card, and these are the words, I've never forgotten these words. He said, but in their own handwriting, and even my mama's handwriting of a P7 graduate, ebigambo byabwe ku kadi yange ya P7 byangamba, Patricia, we love you. You are our family's joy. You are our hope. You are our investment. But even if we love you so much, we cannot write these exams for you. So make us proud. These parents love you, but they cannot live your life for you. Go ahead. I try to print a few of these things. I can have a few, the students, 1, 2, 3, come here. You can give a few parents to look at what I'm talking about. I go to different schools and I talk to children. And many of these children write. So in fact, in my next book, I want to make sure in their own handwriting, without their identity, to see some of the questions that these children are writing. But here is a young person, because this was written by a team, a group of around senior 2, senior 3s. That's why I brought this. And these are few, because I don't know how many, I have in millions questions that have been given to me by your fellow age mates. But you'll not believe that one is asking, how often should I have sex in the holidays? Senior 2, senior 3. Another is saying, I am addicted to weed and I can't be there without it. What should I do? But we know that some of you even know the weed biscuits and the weed cookies. That when you are buying things, you know, because it was still your students, not the ones of this amazing school, but it was your age mates that even told me that some of these things even have marks to show you that this one has something. You know the juices. Bazadde bannange abaana baffe bwe tutalwana nnyo abaana batugendako. That is why you, as the parents, must, in uppercase, must work hand in hand with the school. And in that equation, even if you work as the parents and the teachers and you have put out these children, we can't get anything from them. So we have to work together. Galinga masiga omwana omuzadde n'abasomesa. We work, it's like the 3 cooking stones. You must. And your children, I tell you, in this entire 170 members of staff, you can't tell me that you can fail to get at least 1 or 2 teachers that you can be able to talk to. Because the truth is, we are different. You and the senior woman, we understand. And shamelessly, some girls say, nze oyo musomesa ampalana, oyina kachi mwana wange, oyina kachi omusomesa akuwala ne gwe. What do you have? That teacher doesn't like me. Really? My mother doesn't understand me, doesn't like me. Really? So, it is just a wake-up call. I'll read a few, and then I'll try to leave you with the message I have for you. Someone is asking, how do I quit porn? Porn is pornography. Seeing of those naked pictures and videos. I hear about their yellow movies or whatever, I don't know. So, another one is asking, those who have got this, you see that green paper there. Omwana yabuuza, why do people turn to self-harm? My dear parents, some of your children are harming themselves. Besalasala in this very space nga nakatula nawulidde nti waliwo eyeeyo chane pass. They are harming themselves. Children are brought to my office, and when we talk and get deep, these children will open up. Agenda okubikulira bwati ebisambi nga yabisalaasala dda wansi w'emikono nga baasalasa. Because the devil has made them think that when you cut yourself, you're getting better. This is a child that the devil is stealing right through your hands, because you, as a parent, you're suffering from TB. Those are not my words. So, let us get back to the drawing board. What if the pain you cause to yourself makes you feel better about yourself or about what is happening? This is not my handwriting, dear parents. And it is for that reason that before I left for the US last year, after being chosen to go for something called Fulbright Scholarship, where I had the opportunity to visit a number of schools in New York City, I had to leave this voice behind for the children. To be reminded, the book is called Teens Get Spurred On. Teens Get Spurred On. It reminds you of your value. So I left behind this voice, and these are the books I've been giving some of the learners and the parent that wants this voice to continue talking to your child. Please, don't leave without a copy. I carried just a few. The rest you can get through the contact that I'll give you. It has only 5 chapters. Kana katabo omwana asobola okapakinga wonna waalaga. Ne koogera naye. Even you, mama, tata, musobola okutuula. Only 5 chapters. Very simple. Chapter 1. Mukutya Mukama amagezi mwe gasookera. The fear of God is... I can't hear you. So in chapter 1, you will be able to hear some of the things that will help you. If you're afraid, in chapter 2, I have even put for you a number of Bible verses which can help you. If you don't want, you as a person, because it is your life, what do? Make sure you remember that a word to a wise man, I don't hear you. A word to a wise man is enough. You cannot have gone through primary school. Some of you even have already put on graduation gowns, top class, and ibambi your parents threw a party. And you felt katiwamazeyo. My dear, no. That certificate of top class is not going to appear anywhere. Okay? So, you haven't yet. If you left school right now, you would be a highly qualified school dropout. You would sit on the board of people who have never gone to school because there is nothing you have to show. Do you understand me? Okay. At least you were senior 4. But if that one also dropped out in senior 4, they don't have that certificate. Because with that certificate, maybe you can take a shortcut, go and do some other short programs. At this level, nothing. So you'll find that. Then I put a chapter that I called, You Are Not Alone. I've just shared with you. By senior 3, I had a program on Radio Mama every Saturday. I would go, and that program was called Teen Talk. I would be there talking to my fellow teenagers, telling them, you people who still have your parents, you're lucky. So let us read, let us work hard. God is a father of orphans. You can do it. Listen to the word of God because he's our father. Listen to your parents. Listen to your teachers. I am not surprised today. Even the teachers who taught me in nursery school that are still alive have come to my house and I have prepared some good food for them. Those of primary school, today we sit. I go to the schools that they've started. I sit and chair meetings there on their boards. In secondary school, my dear, I think the entire staff of those who taught me in senior 1 to senior 6 attended. And guess what? When I was done with the university, God blessed me with one of the lecturers of Makerere University, Professor Matthias Mulumba Bwanika, the Dean of School of Education. So when you do good, you're seen. Me who could not even have ufenga no kulia matoke bera pate. Na ye wano mpulidde mbu menu, what you all say, yes. It is okay even if the food is just posho and beans. Let me tell you, you can become the next president. You can be the first aeronautic engineer in this place. You can be the best doctor, surgeon, lawyer. Yet in Olan, you were eating posho and beans. Then you can walk into any restaurant, any hotel in Uganda and anywhere and buy yourself whatever meal you want. I could do that. Right now, if you become myopic, munange olimukulia your future. If you give yourself away because this cowboy, so-called father figure, is buying you chapatis at the canteen, then you're there giving away yourself. If you sit and calculate the money your parents have spent on you from the time your mother saw that she was carrying you, do you want to tell me this father figure of yours is spending more? This one, the so-called father figure, my dear girls, guess what? He also makes a shopping list. Bachamugulira boxer. Then he comes here and because he goes to the canteen and buys for you, you lose focus. Don't be cheap. Yakugulide Rolex. What is a damn Rolex? You can buy the entire Rolex shop. You boys, where are the boys? So, please, my dear friends, that sex you want to start practicing today. Some of you have. You have even degraded yourself. Unti emabega wechibina mo toilets. Jogenda kano ka father figure ne kaja. That's where you go. And the father figure is touching you. You're aiding him to do practice makes perfect. He's practicing on you. Do you understand? So don't let, my mother used to say that adolescence does not have a head and legs. In Ruchiga, it sounds different. You can't let just the stage ruin you. So my dear parents, let us take off time. Today, when you go to meet them, don't just talk about, hey, nakulete den koko at home. This one, again, this child, if we work together and talk to them, they will buy for you even farms, you as the parents. But if you don't, even that farm you have, this child will kill you so that they take it. That is already happening. Abazade, am I lying? We are seeing this. So today, we are having parented parents. The children are the ones parenting. They are the ones making rules and regulations in the home. My dear parents, no. That is not love. That is not love. They are the ones who determine. In fact, I used to be a head teacher in one school in Zambia, and one time a parent came, and we were talking about how the child was behaving. And then the mother turned and said, Kati Mami, what do we do? Asking the child. Now, Mami, what do we do? I have seen a boy of senior 5 slap a mother. And the mother is crying and saying, Teacher, then I'm saying, who is parenting who? When we lose them now, we shall not help them. The Baganda say, like you've heard, I am married into the Baganda kingdom. So I'm trying to learn a lot of Luganda. Akatika kolachi, kacha mama mera. You cannot try to make it straight once it is bent. So today, when we are having these conversations, let us call it a moment of truth. As a senior woman teacher in one of the schools where I served as a senior woman teacher for close to 18 years. And you'll not believe, in one of those schools, a mother came to report that the daughter was the co-wife. The daughter was the co-wife. Newebuza tata. When did we get to that level, my dear parents? A father choosing to be with the daughter. And the girl would keep abusing her mother in English because Bambi, just like me, the mother didn't know much English. But I know I ended up being a teacher of literature and English because from senior 3, I told my mother, don't worry, I'll teach you English. So whenever she would speak a sentence in broken English, I would help her. Then she would write letters to me. And in response, I would tell her, Mommy, you see, that sentence was not right. In P3. So by the time she died in my P7 VAC, her last words were all in very good English. She did not even do a simple blunder called the Mbogo. 2 words used to disturb her a lot. The word especially, she couldn't say. Chatutawanya nnyo. That's my mother. And the word sunshine. That one was very hard. But one time I told her, you're going to say 20 times. Then she just shh. I said, no, 20 times, then I would count. You understand? That is how close. Let me tell you, children, be very close. I've raised all my siblings. I was working, senior 1, walking to school, waking up at 3:30. You make some chapati, muwogo musike, kabalagala, because mom had taught us. And then you go with them. On your way to school, you live at the shops, and in class you have some, and you're telling them, your friends, to buy from you. Then on the way back home, you pass by Kasubi Market, you do some more shopping. Then the business grew. I started buying matoke. Gatujiteka kabalaza, the maid who stays home with the baby. Natundo regulo netubala. Then from just matoke, the business grew. Now we could even sell charcoal. You don't know these things. You come from very rich homes. But you can get a certain, bucket, small bucket, like those normal buckets, then you start measuring. You don't know these things. And then you're saying, how do they see me? A whole of me? How? We've even heard of children who deny their own parents. That's not my mother. That's not. We've heard of those stories, but they are not in this school. They are elsewhere. The business grew, and later I managed to get that job on the radio, and it kept going. By the time I was in senior 4, I was doing the work I'm doing today. I would go to schools and tell my fellow teenagers. So what I'm talking about is not what I have read. I've lived it. When I tell you it can be, it can be. If a boy comes and says they love you, tell them thank you. But do you love yourself? Because the second greatest commandment says, I don't hear you. So before you open your mouth to say, I love you, ask, do I love myself? Because if I loved myself, I would know why I came to this school, what I want to get, what my parents are going through, how I should make them better. Then I can say that. But you have been fooled. Someone says, I love you. You quickly say, I love you too. That's wrong. This person saying, I love you, does not love you, because if they did, they would know that it is not the right time. They would know that they should actually just support discussion groups, helping each other. If you're better in maths and I'm better at English language, story of my life, the boys that would come would have to see, what did you get in the beginning of term? So the subject where you beat me, that's the conversation. That's the only way you're going to show me that you love me. If you help me not to get an F9, then you love me. But if you want me, you touch me, you what? Go to. Amen. Are we together? Nobody loves you. Dear parents, I appreciate that things are tough. That is why I wrote this book, Perfect Imperfections, Living the Dream of a Marriage that Lasts a lifetime. Why? Because the devil has chosen to attack families, to attack marriages. Batata abali wano ka DNA mukawulira. The devil has chosen to attack. Guess what? When we get misunderstandings at home, as a husband and wife, this is none of their business. Toyingizaamu mwana. Some of these people are fighting your own battles. Because I hear this when the children come for counseling. In one school, a parent of a senior 3 girl a father came to see the daughter after so many years. And the school inquired whether this was indeed the parent. Nibagamba yiye, fairo y'omwana. It shows that the father is deceased. Now you're saying you're the father. Nebayita omwana. Do you know this man? Yes. Who is? My father. Then they called the mom. And they said, the head teacher. Hello? Mama so-and-so, we have a gentleman here. His names are da-da-da-da. He's saying that he's the father. The file was saying deceased. Let me tell you, when we have issues as husband and wife, let's not involve the children. Okay? Let's give these children the right. That is why this girl ends up looking for what? So give them the right. Allow yourself to be present. I know we have had, how much time? Wonderful. So in my 5 minutes, for more information, for more engagement, Perfect Evolvers is here to talk to the children, to go, once the child is brought, I even do visits to the schools, follow up on your child, and we keep talking. I have a very strong team, you'll see it, and we shall continue. So in the last 5 minutes, this is what I'm going to say. For those of us who have pens, we can write. Okay, for the parents, this is what I'm going to ask. What kind of parent are you? We have what we call the lawnmower parent. Ngono asale bisubi mu compound. Lawnmower. These ones, they mow down every challenge, discomfort of the child. It is, don't care. So they just, this child has not talked to you for the entire holiday. This child is going through, you notice tachalia na mweku dining. You mow down every challenge, discomfort and struggle. Then we have the elephant parent. That one encourages the child over academics or sports. There you have that elephant parent coming. Then we have what we call the tiger parent. The tiger is known for putting excellence in academics, carefully chosen, extracurricular activities. Those ones, that parent is going to be there. The tiger parent, buliwamu, is there trying to know, especially academics. You have to be a lawyer because I failed to be a lawyer. You have to be a doctor because I failed. How are you? What are you doing? In those lines. But the helicopter parent, that one who hovers around the child, buli dakiika, you're there. You're not there to maybe offer encouragement. You're there to push. How? Go. For those of you who have watched, for example, if you've watched the children, no, if you watched Akila, there was the Chinese parent. How many of you have ever watched a movie called Akila, the Spelling Bee? Wonderful. Amazing. You remember that Chinese parent? That was a helicopter parent. They hover around. Buli kasera, you see them on sports today. And the mother is there running, not supporting, but you must be number one. And when the child is number two, it's terrible. Are you a helicopter parent? Are you a tiger parent? Are you a free-range parent? You allow the child. I've had, not my word, some of them bring themselves to school on boda. Free range. Free range system. Naban, you don't know who is the friend of this child. Where have they gone? You know? Agenze mu house party. Nechigambo house party. Tofude yo. So you're just there free. As long as for you, you're happy, you've gotten your cup of beer, you're chilling with the big boys. Oh. Then, of course, we have those attachment parents. They use natural closeness rather than the clock to determine their children's needs. And then also, dear parents, we can go and read more because these are types of parents, but we also have what we call parenting style. The permissive parent is child-driven, rarely gives or enforces rules. Munyumba yo toina mateka. The child has even never had. If they are there, you're the one who breaks them. There are no rules at home. I have seen some children put on things that are as good as knickers in the house. Natekako kundisho natambula mu nyumba, but you have shamba boys and askaris but this child is dressed like that. When they sit, edda, my fellow teachers, watulanga no simba omukono ku mmere ng'olya. Gabagutema. Today, these children don't even know that. So you see them sitting, a girl is putting one leg here, another one there. You know? So that is a permissive parent. You avoid, you don't want to engage in the child's issues because tuyagala conflict. Then we have the neglective parent. This one also is uninvolved. Provides little guidance. Totulangako omwana atandisa adolescence. Naye mama, you've even never sat to show this child. I've seen children. I go to schools and I say, do you know how to put a sanitary towel? No. And yet by P4 today, children are already menstruating. By P4, some even in P3. Some of you got to learn that from the teachers. But even your parents have never said, teacher, kale bambi kano kakiro kasukali webale. Your child does not even know how to dispose of that sanitary towel. Some of them, not here, will put them under the pillow, under the bed, at home. And you expect Maria or Pa to the maid to be the one to remove them. In the home, it's happening today. Maybe a comeda. So that means you're which kind of neglectful parent? You're indifferent to your child's social, emotional, and behavioral needs. All indifferent. Now, yeah, this child has spent a whole week without talking. It's if you don't even observe. Some of you have even forgotten how exactly the children look like when they smile, when they are sad. You don't know. Then we have the authoritative. Everybody say authoritative. That parent is the one who solves problems together with the child. They set clear rules and expectations. They have open communication. And they've talked about even the consequences if certain things are not done. Some of us only say, bank sliperiwa. But you don't. I was talking to an amazing friend of mine who told me she went and asked the class teacher why. The class teacher had said that the child is, I think, having a different character or something. Would have done better, but the behavior has changed or something like that. And guess what? The mother did not have peace. Nagambe no comment yetegezachi. When she visited and asked the class teacher had nothing to say. Mukazi watosanga deadline yali emutta n'akubako gu comment. But now this was cleared because this parent is an authoritative parent. Then we have what we call the authoritarian. This is, parent-driven, set school rules and set strict rules and punishments. Then they have a, one-way communication. Yeah, you get a little consideration of what the other party has, and little consideration of the needs. So what kind of parent are you? What style are you using? Finally, Proverbs 22:6. Does anyone know what that says? Can you read it for me? Wonderful. Train up a child in the way that they should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. I love this particular scripture. Proverbs 22:6. Ekugamba omwana w'omukuze mu ngeri gy'oyagala agende. Bw'alikula asigale ng'akola ki? Ng'atambulira mu ngeri eyo. So it means omwana bw'abanga akuba zi CCTV cameras osanga Ephesians 6. Children, obey your parents. Honor your father and mother, so that everything may go well with you and you may have a long life on earth. You don't honor your parents by doing things that embarrass them. And as teachers, guess what? When you do bad manners here, for us in the staff room, we share the information. Do you see this boy Katongole? Do you know what he did? So every teacher sees. Then your father is going to come in the suits, well-dressed and what? And everyone is going to say, that is the father of Katongole. You mean the other boy? Already, you have ashamed the parents. So, my dear, honor your parents. Colossians 3, chapter 20. Colossians chapter 3, verse 20 is also reminding you, obey your parents. In this book, I've also put a chapter on mental health. You're going to read interesting things on how you can guard your mental health. And there are more verses. I'm not going to read all of them. You'll find them in Teens Get Spurred On. I want to tell you, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. If you don't have dreams, you don't know where you're going, you're like a flat tire. It's okay. Some of us have made mistakes. Some of you have already had sex and what? There is what we call secondary virginity. Forgive yourself. Love yourself enough to forgive yourself and correct your mistakes. Some of you are stealing your parents' money. So from today, we are saying enough is enough. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. I want to say that you are such an amazing, amazing audience. And I'm going to ask you, my dear friends, Nabazade, to do this with me, all right? I want to show you that we are a team. I am part of this family. We are all working together. Dear students, when you find the cook, say hello and thank them. The people that sweep these compounds are part of your journey. We are all a team. Is that okay? Even the person at home is part of the team. Is that okay? So let us do this so that you always remember. My dear parents, we are all a team. And the first one on top of the list is God, okay? But let us do this together. I'm going to ask you to put up this little finger on your right-hand side and the little finger on the left-hand side. Let's do this together, okay? The parent, I don't know if they are seeing me. So we are only going to clap with these two little, listen to instructions. We are only clapping with the two little fingers. And the first little finger, this is Mr. and Mrs. Director, okay? This one on the right. And then the second little finger is the members of the board, okay? So they are going, I've had the infrastructure. They're going to do everything for us, okay? They put up infrastructure. They make sure they discuss on how best this school can excel. So I want us to clap with the directors and the board members so that the people outside can hear only these two. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Clap. We want them, thank you. We want them to hear. Are you saying director, naba body? Bazimbi ebizimbe, bakoze buli kimu. Do you hear anything? No. Of course, Madam Director, you can't work alone with your board members. You need to have the members of staff, okay? And the non-teaching staff. So we have the teaching staff and the non-teaching staff, okay? They have brought these employees, they are working, not so? So let these four now clap. Director, board members, teaching, non-teaching. And we want the people outside there to hear that this is our Lady of Africa, Namilyango. Let's go. There is nothing, not so? So now, guess what? Because there is nothing, they are going to have to bring some other people on board, not so? Yes, they are going to have to bring learners, you the students, not so? And then they are going to bring their parents, not so? Let's go. There is something, not so? There is something. But it's still lacking. So what are they going to bring? They are going to make sure that those parents are having PTA leadership. Then also the teachers are having their leadership, the administration, not so? Hey, the Mr. Chitokes, the what? Let's hear. Now there is some sound, not so? The head teacher has joined the class teachers, all those people, not so? Even the prefects have come on board. Let's hear. But the sound is not yet so loud, not so? So now, we are going to add something else. We are going to add the Alpha and Omega, our God in heaven, and we are going to add the entire community. And let us go together. Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you see that we work together? So even you as children, work together. When you see your friend not doing well, support them. So that we all rise together. Not so? And we rise the banner so high. Now this one is just for parents, okay? Are we together? For the parents and the administration. Abazadde, kano kamwe mweka, abaana nga tebandaba, and this is where I will end, okay? I need you to look at me. Do what I'm doing as I tell you to do, okay? What I'm telling you to do is what I want you to do, okay? Parents, is it okay? Can you see me? I want you to all look at me and do as I do because I'm going to tell you what to do, okay? Are we ready? Parents, are you looking at me? Admin, are you looking at me? Wonderful. So I want all of us to touch the chin. Fenat kwate kalevu. Ngabwe enkoze kwata kalevu ko. Ngabwe enkoze. Touch your chin like I'm touching my chin. Touch your chin like I'm doing. Wonderful. Children, can you clap for your parents? Now, parents, do you want to tell me that I don't know what a chin is? Do you want to say that I don't know that this is the chin? So those of us who touched the forehead, why did we touch the forehead? Why did we touch the forehead? Sorry? I told you. I say to do what I'm telling you to do, like I'm doing, not so? So this is exactly what happens. I know that this is not Kalevu. This is Kalevu. And this is forehead, echenyi. I know. I'm a teacher of English literature. So if you tell your child to touch their chin and you touch the forehead, the reaction you had is exactly what is going to happen. You're their role models. Children learn by example. If you're saying, do not drink alcohol, but you're the one coming in, staggering, this child is going to look for the remaining juices in that bottle and drink. Sometimes you're the one saying, and this child, when you're done, they drink the remaining. That's how they start. I'm surprised that we have alcoholic issues. You see that? You're saying, but for you, you're coming to school dressed skimpily. So don't blame this child when they have extra clothes in their bag and they have this dress that you want, then they go and change. We are a true example of our children. What you want your child to be it. Because the apple does not fall far from the tree. God bless you.
Wow. Wonderful, excellent, and marvelous.